Bally Sports, as we welcome you inside the Bally Sports studio. Don McClain, Jeannie Zalesko. Ty Lue said it was going to be an exciting day. He was not kidding. Yes.
Really good game. And, it came down appropriate that the best player that just came back from injury hits a game winner to win it for the Clippers. But a lot of good stuff. Not just Kawhi and PG being back, Kennard being back, but some good performances off the bench. I really feel like the way the third quarter went, Jeannie, the bench won this game. I mean, Kawhi and PG, they all closed it. But if that bench hadn't played as well as they did after the Hornets made their run, might have been a different outcome.
And we'll highlight the bench here just a little bit. 50 points on the night. Kawhi bringing them up post-game because they were as important as Don mentioned. But this one was tighter than maybe you thought it was going to be. With about 5 minutes to play, Hornets were down 8. And then all of a sudden they're up 1. Here's your final 90 seconds as we watch the Charlotte Hornets pull ahead. Are you kidding me here? Just a couple ticks on the clock.
Rozier's a tough guard. You let him get to a spot, he's probably going to make it. This is the play of the night. PG tapping that ball to Kawhi. He finished it.
39 seconds to play. He ties it up, and then the ball's going to get to the kid, Don.
Yeah, first off, you got a missed 3. Right. Pretty good look from McDaniels. And then PG looks like he's going to attack, pulls it out. And this is why superstars are superstars. Whether they've been out for a week, a month, a year, whatever they've been out, you give them the ball and let them make a play. And Kawhi Leonard made a play.
A tough defense by the Clippers. Charlotte had to call 2 full timeouts to just try to inbound the ball. We see the changes as well as Terrence Mann was in there for some defensive reasons to finish it off. But very appropriate, as you talked about in those final 90 seconds. We saw a great defense from Paul George and the calm as well from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and they played more minutes than I think we all expected them. So I was a little surprised when they came back in the fourth, but, they ended up winning the game for this Clipper team at the end. So a lot to talk about with PG and Kawhi being back and their effect, and what became clear to me tonight was just they got some work to do in terms of getting everybody on the same page, getting everybody comfortable with each other. But while you're figuring that out, you might as well win games.
All right, minutes for Kawhi, 28 tonight, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. But the very important shots that we saw there to tie it up for the Clippers, and then, of course, to go for the win. Your thoughts on what was, his 6th game of the season that we've seen?
Well, he looked the same. I mean, he gets to his spots and he knocks down shots, and that's what he did at the end of the game to win it. And so nothing different. I think his conditioning will improve as we go along, being able to play longer stretches. We don't know what his minutes restrictions is. I'm assuming it's 28 because both he and PG played 28 minutes. But he does what he does. I think the one area where he hasn't gotten it going this year, which will come with more consistent reps, is from behind the three-point line. Hasn't shot it well, but he's proven he can make threes. So it's just a matter of him getting back in rhythm with a longer stretch of games played.
Which is the exact word he brought up post-game, right? Just trying to get some minutes underneath him to get the rhythm going, and maybe everybody else playing around him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the defense does too. If they double him, then he's got to find shooters, and that's why it's such a big deal with Kennard being back. But this will only continue to get better. As good as tonight was, and kind of the dramatic way they won the game, this will, as time goes on, keep looking better for the Clippers.
It is kind of interesting, though, because you were talking to Jim in the pregame show about them needing some of these tense moments, that this is the kind of stuff that will make them gel a little bit. So they got a little taste of superstars coming back and some drama at the end. Carmack's highlight, though, of the night, Paul George. You kidding me? We talked about him at halftime. Doesn't look like he missed a beat.
No, aggressive, too. That's what I liked in terms of forcing the issue onto the Charlotte defense. And, he looked like he hadn't missed at all. And I talked about the work he's done and the fact that he worked so hard while he was out. You could really tell that tonight. But again, it's not about, you're never going to be concerned about Kawhi or Paul individually. It's about collectively, everyone playing together, playing off of PG and Kawhi. So tonight, the first step in that process, I'm sure we'll hear Ty Lue talk about that in his press conference. But a good sign that PG looks right. And again, continue to win these games as you're going through this process.
28 minutes for Paul George tonight, 8 of 15 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, all in a night's work. Great to have both the superstars back. Luke Kennard out on the court as well, and maybe not going to tell you guys about some great numbers we saw from him, but just the difference out on the court, whether it be defensively or the spacing you talk about.
Yeah, and that's what he's out there for. You don't know the direct effect of Luke Kennard being out there because it's hard to quantify, but him being out there matters because defenses have to stay attached to him. So you're basically playing 4-on-4 with the other guys. Why is 4-on-4 important? Favors the offense. Less players, more space.
More from Charlotte coming your way. Exciting finish. The ball in the hands of Kawhi Leonard with 1.4 on the clock. Ice in the veins. This is the perfect time to launch. Kawhi gets it done. Clippers get the full complement out there. But speaking of compliments, it was Kawhi Leonard saying, hey, take a look at the bench and what they were able to do to keep us in this one. Fourth quarter, 20-6 run. Big difference, and a lot of it were the working guys coming off the bench.
Well, as I said earlier, third quarter didn't go great for the Clippers, but that bench unit really came in. They spun the game completely back around, got the lead, and then the starters came back in at the end and won it. But this was early fourth quarter. Wall was putting a lot of pressure on the defense. This big 3-and-1 for Kennard, but it was everybody. Batum was great as usual. We do not talk enough about Nick Batum and how he affects the game. Actually, more scoring from him tonight, had 13. But everybody in this unit, Moses Brown played well tonight in his limited minutes, but that's why you celebrate. And we talk so much about the Clippers' depth and how they're the deepest team in the league is for nights like tonight. Opposing team makes a run at your starters in the third, doesn't go great. Because your depth is so good, you come in the fourth with that second unit and get the lead back.
Nico Batum led the bench with 13 points in scoring, but John Wall right there as well. 12 points in his 27 minutes worth of work. 5 assists, which is what we were keying in on. And at some point in this one, he actually passed Kareem for 45th all-time on the assist list, as he now has 5,661. But the number's even way more impressive as you consider he was a top pick in the NBA draft. And how do the top picks fare when it comes to assists? Well, now John Wall is number 5 on the list.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good number 1 picks, too, over the years. So good for John Wall and had a big-time effect.
That John was going to be dishing that out a little bit more tonight because he didn't need to carry the load because he has been doing some heavy lifting here, especially over the last 6. He was leading scorer in 2 of the games.
I think both. I think teams are game planning for him. If you watch the game and you see John Wall and he starts getting that head of steam, you know what he's trying to do. And I think teams will start playing that a little bit better. But if they do, then that's his job, to kick it out to shooters. That's what he did tonight.
Everybody's getting their job done, including Ty Lue. He's making his way to a media center in the Charlotte area. We're going to go ahead and listen in after he got to pencil in his superstars tonight. One of them, Paul George, who went all out. Pete, your Clippers are going to see these Charlotte Hornets in about 2.5 weeks back at our place. Here's the final stats from this one, Don. Anything particularly jumping out at you?
Well, we've already hammered the bench and how great they were, but it kind of sticks out when you put it up on a graphic just how good they were. And actually, Charlotte shot it better from behind the three-point line tonight than the scouting report would tell you. But good game all the way around. That's why those stats look pretty even.
Yeah, the advanced scouting said they weren't good from 2 or 3, and that was not the case tonight. All right, we're still going to hammer the bench because you know what? It's the first topic of discussion for Ty Lue. Let's listen in.
Yeah, we were just talking about the locker room. They was great. I thought John Wall, Luke Kennard, Nico, Nico's presence on Rozier, just picking him up full court, denying him, trying to tire him down. But I thought our bench was huge. They really, in that third quarter, got us back in the game and really won the game for us. I know Kawhi made a big shot, but our bench was huge for us tonight.
What did you think of Kawhi's big shot?
It was huge. I think a great momentum builder for him going forward, and just happy to see those guys back on the floor. I thought PG did a great job, especially in that first half of scoring the basketball, distributing the ball, getting guys easy shots, had 7 assists and no turnovers in the first half. And then, having 31 assists, with those guys on the floor, like I said, it's going to cause teams with double team, teams would do some things they're not used to doing, and we're going to get open shots. And so 36 threes for us is huge because we've been wanting to shoot more threes. And, so just continue to keep building off this. I think that first unit, we just got to play a little faster. play a little faster in the half-court offense, get into our spots, harder cuts, sharper cuts, and then playing a little faster in transition as well. But overall, I thought it was a good job. First game back, I thought we did a good job.
And you're kind of expecting to see, it take a little bit of time for PG and Kawhi and everybody around them to kind of get acclimated to having them in the game. How did that look to you?
I thought with the starters it was good to start, and then I thought in the third quarter came out defensively we wasn't very good, and then offensively I thought we got a little stagnant. So looking for those guys, and that's to be expected. But we still got to play through the game, and so we can't get stagnant. And then the biggest thing is just starting the third quarter with our defense. It wasn't very good.
Fourth quarter, 20-6 run for your Clippers. Hornets at a 13-5 answer. That's how this one got very interesting. The road trip starts with a W. We're going to look ahead when we come back.